Okay, so this is part 3 of my new go-kart project. Today I'm going to be working on the steering, making some kind of steering wheel type thing. I'm not sure yet. So what I'm basically doing is I'm taking this right here. This is half of a Harbor Freight tire. They're basically 2-piece rims. And, you know, there's some bolts right there that you have to remove. Then you have to pop them apart. It's not a big deal, but you know, this one was very rusty, probably because it was left outside. This thing is going to be sitting to the frame there. And then what I got here is this wooden circular thing that's going to be going through these bearing holes. And this is going to be screwed onto the frame. And then I'm going to make up some kind of way to, like, have it like that, something like that. Let me just screw it together so you guys can get a better visual of what I'm going to be doing here. Alright, so as you can see, I got this bad boy cut roughly where I want it. And what I want to do is drill a hole somewhere in the middle right here on this thing, or maybe some other piece of wood. I don't know what route I wanted to go. I'm not sure what route I'm going to choose yet. But, like, drill a hole, like, about halfway through, put some wood glue, and sandwich it on. I'm not going to screw it on because that's, I've done stuff like that before, and it basically just splits this piece of wood just because it's not very big in diameter, so I don't want to do that. And I'm going to try to make it maintain the ability to go in and out of this in case I need to service it. And there's going to be like, and it's going to basically attach, like, there's going to be like some rope like wrapped around this thing somewhere, and then I'm going to have a screw eye roughly right here. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted, so that when you turn this thing, it will turn this back and forth. Alrighty, you guys can see this thing now. I drilled the hole, put some glue, hit this thing in there with a hammer, or more like a rubber mallet, not really a hammer, but she's in there. I'm gonna let it dry overnight. So yeah, I'm gonna put this inside, like in the house, so that it can dry better. But I'm gonna keep going tomorrow. Part 3 will continue tomorrow. So last night, all I was able to really do was this, and it doesn't look like a lot, but I would have done more, but you know, I had to wait for the glue to dry, but the glue's dried, and I'm gonna see how it looks on the go-kart. Alrighty, let's stick her inside of the hole. There we go. That's awesome. What I'm gonna do right now is stick a screw eye right there for the rope, and I'm also going to attach a little brake lever. It's obviously not going to be hooked up, but I'm going to attach one so that way I at least have one attached. So that'll be pretty good. Alrighty, so I'm sitting inside the cart right now, as you could tell. So basically the way this is going to go down, well, I also got the brake lever, even though it's not hooked up, but, you know, like I said, I decided to just do it that way. I know I at least have it on. Basically what I'm going to be doing is ordering a live axle kit that has a drum brake on it, so when the axle is installed, the brake is probably going to be right about here, so I'm just going to attach a little cable through this thing so that you can pull it forward or push it forwards, and it'll, you know, function the brake. And I also got these screw eye in place, so the idea is, and this might be the tricky part, and what I'm going to be doing is drilling a hole through here and doing some little fiddling with this rope so that when you turn it, it will turn back and forth to help with the steering. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so a little change of plans. Instead, what I ended up doing is drilling another hole through this and putting some more glue around there. And so basically, the way this is going to work is, obviously the glue is not dry yet. I just installed it. So basically, what this is gonna do, is gonna fit right into there. I actually haven't tested to make sure this fits yet, so hopefully, yep, there we go. It's just about perfect. And when you turn this thing back and forth, there's gonna be some rope that attaches from here and goes to the front end on both sides. So when you turn it back and forth, the front axle or wheels turn with it. But unfortunately, I really wish I thought of this yesterday. I literally thought of it today, and I'm just like, great, now I have to wait overnight again. So yeah, we're going on. So yeah, this is gonna have to put this on hold for the night, and gonna have to move on to day 3 tomorrow. All right, well, it is the next day again. So this is day 3 of what I originally thought was gonna take one day. The glue on this thing is hardened on this side right here. It kind of spilled off a little bit. Hopefully that's not a big deal. This thing is, I don't think I explained this to you guys yet, but this thing is more about maintaining control of the steering at high speeds and not so much fully relying on it to steer. Basically, like my feet are still gonna go right here, and then you put this thing in right here, right fully in like that. It doesn't get in the way of my legs, and I can still hopefully get like some rope. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some rope from here over to the front, and this is supposed to help me maintain control of the steering and not so much like actually like, you know, it's not supposed to fully take over. Like, I'm still gonna be pushing it like this, but I'm also gonna use this as well, because on like some little test runs, like a couple videos ago, actually the last video on this, I said I was gonna take that axle right there and temporarily installed on the back to do a few test runs, and you know, the front steering worked, but like, you know, once you reach a certain speed, it'll kind of start to death wobble on me. So obviously I don't want to deal with that. So I'm gonna do this. It seems like it's a good idea. And another thing I did last night is I got the cable for the brake lever all hooked up. Well, I mean, obviously not fully hooked up because I don't have that axle kit yet. But I do have the cable kind of figured out. You're gonna push this forward, and this cable just goes through this hole, and you know, I just secured it with a little bracket. And then the rest of the cable just comes all the way back. So, of course, it's not gonna be that long, but I'm not gonna cut it yet until like I actually get my brake, actual brake. It's gonna have drum brakes. So there you go. Now that the glue is finally hardened, we can finally finish up this whole front steering assembly and see if it works. Alrighty, so I got the steering kind of figured out, I think. So here's the steering thing. And like I said before, I wanted to make sure this thing has the maintains the ability to go in and out of the bearing hole. Now that it's in there, you can see the ropes. Now, like I said before, this isn't really so much for steering. It's more like for like holding the front end more steady. I'm gonna get rid of the screw eye because at this point it's useless to me. And side note, the bearing support for the steering works great as a screw tray. So yeah, it's kind of random, but you get the point. So unfortunately, that's all I'm going to be able to do today, because literally the next thing I need to do is the rear axle, and I don't have it yet. So I'm kind of out of stuff to put together without that axle, because I need it. Like, of course I need to get the engine on, but in order to get the engine on, I need the axle to figure out where I am going to, like, figure out where the engine is going to go. So I already have the engine, but as you know. But I don't have the axle yet. I need the axle so that I can, you know, get the engine in place, make it a roller, put the chain on, get this little brake lever hooked up, and, you know, just some other odds and ends of stuff, you know, nothing too huge, to be honest. This is like, I'd say it's about halfway done at this point, so, yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys later.